So, tell me about your perspective on. I know you shared already a little bit about, whether you're going to outsource or whether you're gonna hire a full-time employee. So, when is the time? When is in your own experience, when is the time to outsource, and when is the time to hire an employee?
Ooh, good question. Not very many people ask this. In the agency space, you really have three options. You have the option to hire a full-time employee, you have the option to hire a subcontractor, or you have the option to hire a vendor or strategic partner. And I kind of break this down where if you're going to hire an employee, just know that they are high maintenance, high control, meaning they're going to take a lot of effort. You have to train them. You have to give them raises and benefits and have a great culture and all these things, but you have high control. You can get them to do whatever you want them to do. Next down, you've got a subcontractor. You've got, medium maintenance and medium control. Medium maintenance, because you typically, when you hire a subcontractor, they already know the craft, right? You go to like Upwork and you can read their experience and they already know the craft. But medium control, because someone else can take them and their utilization. And then you've got a strategic partner, which would be low maintenance because they know how to make the widget, right? It's productized typically, but low control. You can't tell them how to make the widget, right? They have a process for that. And you need to evaluate when you need more leverage, because that's what we're talking about is leverage. You need more labor-based leverage. Which one is most appropriate? I would say if it's a very repeatable, common thing, it might be a vendor, right? That someone's productized it really cheap. You got those international arbitrage and all these different advantages. If it's something super custom or creative, you may need to bring it in-house for more control. Just because it's just so unique. There's just not a vendor out there. Maybe the subcontractors, there's not one that has that experience. So it just depends on every situation. I would say a lot of times people make the mistake of hiring a full-time employee, especially in the US, and which I know this is a little bit controversial, but let's just use one example. A web developer in the US. You're competing with SaaS, you're competing with everybody. You're looking at a decent, any web developer is going to cost $70K to $100, like minimum,
Right.
with any type of experience, versus, international arbitrage where you can get someone at $10 an hour. If you're focused on profitability and the number one reason to own a business is profit,
Right.
then you need to take those into consideration.